Hello everybody, it's Stefan Joubert from the Stefan Joubert Guitar Academy, and in today's video I'm going to speak to you about how to practice the guitar. Now, I know I have done a previous series or a previous video on practicing the guitar, but it was more just a talk. In this little session I'm going to do some demonstrations for you so that you can get a very good idea of what I want you to do when you practice the guitar. So firstly, this talk is aimed at adult learners. I'm going to make a few presumptions about you. You are passionate about the guitar. You love spending time with the instrument. It's your passion, but you do not have a lot of time. You've got a very busy work schedule, and you have to really be ruthless with your organization to get your guitar practicing. If this is your case, this video is exactly for you. So the first thing I want to speak to you is about getting a proper setup. It's very important that you have a set place where you practice. Ideally in a separate room from family or friends. Make sure you've got a spare room or a study somewhere that's designed for guitar practice. You should have a good quality chair at the right height so you're posturally correct on that chair and it's comfortable for you to practice. Make sure you've got your music stand, make sure you've got your metronome, you've got the iPad, you've got the amplifiers, you've got the Bluetooth connections, whatever you need to make the practice session fruitful. Because the first truth is you do not have a lot of time. So it's vital that you don't spend 7 minutes of each time to set yourself up. You should be set up from the word go. Everything should be ready just for you to go. Let's assume that's there. So where do we start? Well, the very first place would be to warm up. And a very good warm-up exercise would be the following one that I'm going to show to you now. This is also a technical exercise that you can use. I've included some tablature below. You can just download the exercise if you want to try it yourself. It's very good for the left hand and the right hand for synchronizing between the hands. So let's get into it. So we're going to do it very slowly. If you want to do it on a metronome, you can. I would recommend at 50 BPM for a click or for a note, for a quarter note or a crotchet, as we say in England. So let us get into it. So basically, I'm going to demonstrate it. You can also do it in the same way. It's very good to also play and say. In this case, we'll do down, up, 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 down, up. And you want to make sure that your left hand is nice and neat. Remember, the best sound is just behind the metal. Go to the second string, down, up, small movements with the plectrum, down, up and down, up, down, up and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up and down, up, down, up. So basically practicing alternating between the two hands. So that's a nice warm-up exercise, but let's say you're doing the major scale. You can do the same thing. Let's say we're doing it in B flat. You can do down, up, down, up. Just going for a good sound. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And in the first instance, you want to do it very slowly. You're just there to warm up and to get settled into your practice. Later, you can have some exercises where you work with the metronome and you work your speed up. That's also very valid. Now, you may wonder with the plectrum, how should I pick? Should it always be down, up? Should I do some economy picking? The answer to that is it's quite complex. It really is situation dependent. But what I would say is if you do pick with an economy style picking, you will change the sound. The smoothest sound is a down, up pick. It really depends. But if there's a fast passage, then an economy pick might be a very useful way of picking, but these things need to be planned out very carefully. So that's going to be for your warm-up. Then you would get your technical exercises. For that, I do like the chromatic scale, where you just, play it in triplets like. Three octaves up and down. Of course, you don't have to do it quickly like that. You can start a scale like that very slowly, like with the metronome, just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, down, up. And again, the down, up, making sure that's perfect as well. Because what tends to happen with the chromatic scale, for example, is students would play down, up, down, up, down, down. And again, that falling back to the economy picking because you're not thinking is not a methodology of playing. You can use economy picking, but only when it's planned. You can't just use it all the time without a thought process. So make sure with your picking as well, you know what you're doing with this hand. We're always so focused on this left hand that we forget this hand. So it's very important, even with something like that chromatic scale, it's very important to go down, up, 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 down, etc. I've included that chromatic scale, the 3-octave one, as well in the tablature, so you can download that and try that. But I'm not going to show you how you should practice, because this is not really what this video is about. It's more about just giving you an overview for your practice. So practice your technique, do the warm-up, practice your technical exercises. Sometimes it could be pull-offs. Doing proper pull-offs with, for example, finger 4-3. They are difficult to do sometimes as well. Could be your vibratos. Just working on every single note. It could be hammer-ons. It could be double stops. It could be so many things. It could be slides. It could be so many elements of playing. It could be, if you're into jazz, it could be maybe your swing. It could be so many things that you're practicing on your technical front. I'm not going to tell you what to do, I'm just giving you an overview here. But then after you've done that technical thing, the next thing you need to work on is your knowledge of the guitar's neck. Now let us take the key of D flat as an example and say we're practicing the major triads. The first thing you need to do is know your string groups. Which position are you in? So string group 2-5, the lay of the land there would be position number 3. Now, I'm not going to give you all the information just like this in the video, it's just an overview for you. If you want to have much more information and make, radically change your playing, get in touch with me, let's organize a Zoom lesson and let's speak together and make a plan for your playing. So we've got the 2-5 there, that's position 3. Then we would proceed to play the D flat major triad, and we could just start it from the 2 octaves, or we can do it all the way from the bass up down to the lowest point. And then we could go to string group 3-5, which shows us position number 4 for the D flat. And we can play this in 2 ways. And then we can go to position number 5, 1, 3, 6, and we can play the D flat. And when you practice, you can also do high, low, high, like this. So don't always go from the low, high, low, also do high, low, high. Position 1, 1, 4, 6. Second option. And of course these can be, this you can sweep it, or you can do like alternating picking. I think both of them are valid to do. Then we could go to the next one, which is 2-4, donating position 2. You always have your major third there, if you play the chord, you have that sound there. Or you can even do it up to there. It's a bit weird doing it that way, but there's a few ways you can go about skinning the cat in this instance. And then you can combine that like I've just done there with the chords. And basically, that's what I would recommend, is practicing your knowledge on the instrument. And whatever you're practicing, if you're busy with the pentatonic and you're studying the third position, a good thing is just randomly flip a coin. Put a key on that coin, or just press a randomize button. With the randomizer, let's say it's giving us 7. So it's the 7th one of the C major scale, which would be the G. So then you would be playing your G minor pentatonic, let's say position 3, get the lay of the land, to 5, and you just play your third position. Now, all of these things I'm talking about, you need to plan out what knowledge you're going to work on. So if you're going to work on the third position, then right, I'm spending 5 minutes on my third position. I'm doing sequences of 3, etc. Of course, don't do it like that. Do it with a metronome, like, you know, da, bum, bum. Very, very slowly. Just one per click. This is a video, so I've got to get through the video. Otherwise, we'll sit here for hours with the demonstrations. But when you do it in your private practice, make sure you do it very slowly. And also practice your blues scale there. And then you can do that in a sequence of 3 as well. So in the knowledge part, you may decide, okay, I'm doing string group 2, 3, 4, 5, the inner strings. And you're doing the key of E, and you're doing E dominant 7ths across the neck. And you know your shapes, then you can talk to yourself, okay, I'm playing this shape. I've got my 5th in the bass. I've got my flat 7th in the bass. I've got my root in the bass. I've got my 3rd in the bass. 5th in the bass. Hey, what if I move the root up 2, I get a dominant 9th. Very interesting. Which, by the way, is also minor 7 flat 5 voicing. It's a lovely sound. So you can just kind of experiment with that and play around, increasing your knowledge of the guitar neck, using the string groups, using the octave shapes, and using all of those things. Again, if you're not sure how this all works, how everything fits in, book some lessons in with me. I'll help you. I'll show you how this instrument works. There's a specific scientific way that it works, and I can open it up for you if you're willing to take the chance. You can always start just with an intro lesson, no obligation, and if you like it, we can meet each other on a weekly basis. Now my schedule is getting full, there's limited space available, but the good news is I also have some great assistant teachers who's using the Stefan Joubert guitar methodology. You can also learn with them. But you want to hurry along, get in touch so we can have a relationship together, and I can help you on a weekly basis to really take your guitar playing forward. So that's the knowledge part of playing. After you've done that, you may decide, okay, I'm now going to go to the repertoire part of playing. And let us say you're working on Metallica's Fade to Black solo, the intro solo. It's really beautiful solos. And remember, these solos, they are not improvisations. These things were compositions. And it's not only Metallica themselves who did it. They've got producers and all sorts of guys around the scene who helped them with the music. So remember, whenever you listen to a band, the band by themselves, yes, they are brilliant musicians, but they've got 20 guys behind the scenes helping them. They're not doing all the work, I guarantee you that. So when you listen to a classic piece of music, remember, there's a lot of expertise behind that. So let us say you're working on this Fade to Black. So you're working on that part, and let us just presume that you're struggling with this pull off, the 4th finger pulling off to the 2nd finger, the 2nd finger pulling off to the 1st finger, and the slide back, and you're not getting a smooth sound. You're getting more like, I struggle to do it, but you're getting more like a weak sound on that. Then what you want to do is you want to hone in just on that passage. Now this is the repertoire part of your practice. And what you want to do is you want to go fourth finger pull off to the second finger pull off to the first finger is sliding down. Say it and play it. 12 pull off to 10, 10 pull off to 8, 8 slides down to 7. 12 pulls off to 10, 10 pulls off to 8, 8 slides down to 7. Say it and play it. The saying and playing, if you do that for your guitar playing, you play and say, you get off the lazy chair of doing nothing and you start opening your mouth and speaking what you're doing, you're going to see miracles in your guitar playing. And then another thing you can do is move that up a half a step and play it. So original key, half a step up. Original key, half a step lower. On another string, half a step up, half a step down. Other key, other string, half a step up, half a step down. Next string. And stay very relaxed when you do these exercises. Don't overdo anything on your hands. Same thing over here. And then, of course, once you've done a bit of that, again with a metronome, it could go tick, 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 tick. And then you can do it, practice the whole thing super slow like. The snail pace. Without a metronome, just very slow. And then you could do it fast. And then you could do it medium tempo. So the point of what I'm trying to say is work on the passages where you are struggling. You need to have a highlighter with a score. If you use an iPad, make sure you use a pen on that iPad so your hand is physically touching it. Mark the passages that you're struggling with. Practice them first. Start with. Move it around. Get used to doing and you know, then after a while it's going to get easy to go. And then it's not going to be a problem to go. And try to make your melody sing, by the way, generally when you play your lead and your things. And also, let's say you're working on a lick and you're doing like... and you're struggling, you can't get that lick again. You can just go... break it up. Slide. And again a slide. Break it up. Say it and play it. 3 to 5. 5, 5. Again. 3 to 5, slide, 5, 5. 8 sliding to 10. 1 go. 3 to 5, 5, 5, 8 sliding to 10. Excellent. So I hope this little video helps you a bit on your guitar journey. Remember, this is just a drop in the water. If you want to make serious progress with your playing, get in touch. Let us talk, and I would love to help you learn. But whatever methodology you decide, make sure that you've got a structure, make sure you're disciplined, and make sure you're organized in your playing. Thank you for listening. I'll speak to you in the next video.